It was not a mansion. It was an upper middle class home. At the end of the Civil War, he returned here in 1865 and was hailed a war hero. He had become commander of the Northern Forces, and 13 prominent businessmen in town purchased this home and its furnishings and gave that to the Grants as a thank you for his military service. They lived here and in Washington, D.C. because he was still in the military. In 1868, he was elected president. He served 2 terms. Again, it was back and forth. This may be considered something along the lines of Camp David of today. Grant died in 1885 of throat cancer. They were living in New York State at the time, and that is where he is buried. Julia lived until 1902, and in 1904, the children deeded the house and its furnishings to the city of Galena, with the stipulation that it remain as a memorial to their parents. In 1931, the city fell upon hard times financially, and the house was then turned over to the state of Illinois, and it was then declared a historical site and has been ever since. About 90% of the furnishings are original. The wall coverings, the window coverings, the carpets were all redone back in the 1950s. And I'll point those things out to you when we go in. So let's go on in and we'll start looking around. I'll keep those Galena bugs outside. The library here was his favorite room. On the round table, I'm going to scoot over here out of your way so someone else can see. On the round table, there's a big book. That is Julia's Bible. It's inscribed in gold to her, and it weighs about 15 pounds. The sculpture on between the 2 windows is done by a famous artist by the name of John Rogers. It is called Council of War. It is Grant, Lincoln, and at that time Secretary of War Edwin Stanton. Next to that is a round metal cigar stand. It was a habit that he picked up and eventually killed him. He died from throat cancer, but he picked up the habit during the war. The story is that a lot of the officers and soldiers picked up that cigar and smoking habit because it kept down the stench of the death and disease that was around during that time. The furnishings in here are original to the home. This was a room that was used for entertaining. The day after the election in 1868, a grand reception was held here with all sorts of people coming through wishing him well and congratulations. All of the silver service that's on the table and the sideboard and over here belonged to the Grants. It was purchased during their White House years and used there. The china with the G and the S on it was ordered especially by Mrs. Grant for their daughter's wedding. It was used at the wedding breakfast at the White House. Nellie got married during the second term. She was 18 years old. Above the fireplace is a portrait of Julia. It was done from a photograph. It was unusual for her to have a full face front portrait or photograph done. She was very self-conscious. She had a little bit of a lazy eye. And so it's normally more of a profile or a side view that you would see. She was well educated, Southern born and bred, quite pampered in her life. She was the first president's wife to be called First Lady. She was actually called First Lady of the Land, and then it was shortened to First Lady.
They're not walking around barefoot. Maybe that dog's to clean up. More generations, it's like we want more.
Right.
Things were so much more simplistic back then, but you would think, but nice for a little room, one.
Yes.
Looks like they had everything we needed, for
Mhm.
sure.
Yes.
Huh? I'm not ready to.
These are really steep. Careful when you come down, huh?
Sorry.
Oh, don't worry, listen, I'm very slow coming downstairs.
Broke my femur and I had to have major surgery, so this is like the most I've done stairs since then. It's my surgery, so it's just gotta go slow. Apologize.
No problem. Everyone takes a bath on Saturday night. Everyone uses the same bath water. Dad first, Mom second, children in order. Littlest person, they go last. They get the cold, dirty water. That's where the saying comes from, don't throw the baby out with the bath water. Step stove, different levels, but the firebox where you put the wood, kind of small. So you're constantly loading wood, trying to maintain an even heat for your oven and your baked goods. They do have gadgets to make life a little easier. Apple peeler, 2-pronged cherry pitter. Though today you can buy one and do 8 cherries at a time. And this is pre-KitchenAid. This is state of the art, 1865. Pantry, pretty good space. Top 2 shelves, Galena pottery, 1850 to 1892. But we're a lead mining town. Those glazes and maybe the clay itself could be full of lead and not what you want in your kitchen. Cigars and lead, fun times. Questions? All right, here's one of my favorite stories. This is when they are courting. They're very much in love, and Julia has a pet canary. The pet canary dies. Grant makes a little coffin for the canary. He even paints it yellow. and he convinces some of his soldier buddies from Jefferson Barracks to come back with him to Julia's house. They give the canary a military funeral. Doesn't that say love? Well, walk around the grounds, Julia's statue this way. Here we are, the gift shop. The next building has more of the White House china and an exhibit you will like, young lady, presidential pets. See if you can find the president that kept a pygmy hippopotamus. Okay? We also have restrooms out there. And the building along the sidewalk, right up here, next to us, white front, red back, houses a recreated general store. You can see what Walmart might have looked like 150 years ago. All right? Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.